Greetings Cosmic Ones, it's Sue Coulson here in the Cosmic Classroom in Avebury, and I've got a special guest with me today. My dear friend Dawn Henderson has popped by. Some of you may have seen some of my previous posts, so you might know about Dawn. Dawn and I have known each other for quite a number of years now, and the crystal skulls and the information that's come through the crystal skulls is really what's woven our stories together.
Yes, definitely.
So, going back in history, in 2011, Dawn and I came on our first friend date to walk around the Avebury Stone Circle together. And during that day, which was a lovely day, we talked about the possibility of getting together to do a crystal meditation. Because at that time I was running workshops here in Avebury that used big crystal arrangements on the floor, and we would line them and use them as like a dial to tune into specific energies, and I was really keen for Dawn to try this out. So we arranged a play date, another one, didn't we?
We did.
It was really a big turning point for both of us.
It was amazing. It was totally unexpected. And it threw us both on a journey that has taken us to places we never thought, we never even imagined we could get to.
No.
It's been an incredible journey.
It's been really special. So the catalyst for that, as well as the crystals and the meditation that we did, was that my crystal skull, Tony, this beautiful boy, was in the room. It wasn't part of what we were doing. In fact, I remember Dawn saying to me, as I plucked him out of the bag and plonked him on the coffee table, what's that?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, it's a crystal skull though. She's like, oh, I don't like crystal skulls.
I don't like them, and I really, really didn't. I really didn't want anything to do with them back then. Yeah. How times change.
But within half an hour, Dawn's in a deep state of meditation, and I'm very aware of my guides coming through. My guides I recognised energetically, and they'd been coming through stronger and stronger, especially since I got the skull. But I really didn't know who they were or where they were from. And as if by magic, this lovely lady starts to channel them. I don't believe you channeled much before then.
I hadn't channeled at all before then. To put it into context, I was in this meditation and I found myself sitting on the outside of a spacecraft talking to some beautiful, very tall beings with beautiful faces, long white gold hair and blue robes. And I didn't know who they were. I had absolutely no knowledge of the star races, of anything to do with the extraterrestrials and their energies. So I was just chatting away quite happily, telling Sue what was going on, not realising what was going on actually in Sue at that point when she realised what was going on with me.
It was a big day.
It was a big day.
Let's just say it was a big day for both of us, because I had that opportunity then to actually have a conversation with these beings really directly, you know, like ask them things like, who are you, where are you from, why have you come, and what we're doing, and was told that they were higher dimensional beings from the Pleiades star system, and that they were here to help guide my work, and that they really stepped forwards and wanted us to bring this message out to the people, and they wanted me to be a voice for them, which in that moment was a bit scary, really.
Yeah.
But consequently, obviously, I mean, we can't just have a conversation as mind-bending as that and leave it at that, so it developed, didn't it?
We did, yeah. Every week, Monday afternoons, started off with Sue holding space while I did the channeling, and that soon moved into holding space for each other as we both did channeling, and some amazing contacts with beings from pretty much every dimension and star system and crystal skulls, and so much information coming through that was relevant to each of us and where we were going.
Yeah. It's been quite a journey, people.
It's been a hell of a ride.
Because as Dawn said, it's not something that either of us went looking for. You know, it's not like, oh, let's sit down and see if we can make contact with high dimensional beings from the star systems. You know, it wasn't even on our radar as a possibility. No. But really now that's my life, and I know for the most part it's Dawn's too. So Dawn's been very more proactive than me in the way that she's utilised the information that we received through those channelings. Really, there was 2.5 years we did that, you know.
Yes, it was a long time.
It's a lot of information. Dawn's been very proactive with it, and she's created a series of books called the Skull Chronicles, because a lot of the information that she received through this channeling work was about the original ancient crystal skulls. And that's quite a story all upon to itself, isn't it? How we came into that.
Yeah, it was, Tony started it off that day when we were doing the meditation, and then there was a couple of other things happened that actually brought crystal skulls into my awareness over the next literally 2 or 3 weeks. So we met on the 29th of June for our friend date, which is our birthdays, which is why we chose to do that. And one morning at the beginning of August, so what's that, 6 weeks later, I woke up with such an incredibly clear message in my mind that I could not ignore, saying, you have to write about crystal skulls, you have to write a book about crystal skulls, and by the way, make it a novel, because that way you'll reach more people. And although I'd had one book published already, it was non-fiction, it was something that I loved doing, and I'd always had in my head that I would never be able to write a novel. I just haven't got the imagination, there's no way I could do it. And here I was being told to write a novel. So that started at the beginning of August 2011. And I wrote pretty much full time, and it was actually published, It's Lost Legacy, in April 2012. That's how quickly it all came together. And the pretty scary thing for me was that about part way through writing Lost Legacy, I realised that this was not going to be a book. It was going to be a series. And there were probably going to be 11 or 12 books in this series, at which time I went, oh crikey, okay, let's see what happens. So it's just gone from there, really.
Absolutely. So you can probably see here, maybe, if I move over a tad, there are now 4 books that have been published in this series, and I know that she's working away in the background with number 5. Yes. But because of the nature of the way that information comes to you, it's, you know, it's more of a gift, shall we say. Yeah. It just flows in rather than her going searching. You know, and I think that's the really important key part of the information that we've both collectively learned through communication with those high dimensional beings, is learning to trust. I know we've both had to step through hurdles of that, you know, of are we making up this stuff?
Oh, that was the big one.
You know, are we going a bit bonkers between us, you know, or is this kind of something real happening? And when you take on board the fact and possibility that it is real, it changes your worldview, because you then can't deny, really, as much as you might try to begin with, you can't really deny that something real is happening here. You're having an experience that becomes your reality. You know, whilst you're in, it's almost like being in a dreamlike movie where you're receiving this information. You have 2 choices. You can reject it, which doesn't feel very healthy, honestly. It sort of, that feels more uncomfortable, doesn't it? Trying to ignore it, than actually accept it as a reality that you can tune in. So, you know, a lot of what I do now is not so much about sharing my experiences exactly, but about creating a space for other people to have those kind of experiences for themselves. Because it's my belief that only through direct experience do you perceive it as a truth. Does it become something real for you? And then you start to understand that you have these communication skills with all things and all beings. You know, this is why the cosmic classroom is called the cosmic classroom, is because we can connect with light beings, we can connect with the ancient crystal skulls, we can connect with plants and trees and birds and animals and, you know, elves and fairies and you name it really. Everything has consciousness and we are connected to all of it, and it's learning how to trust, really trust, and know in your heart when you're connected in that cosmic way to allow that information to flow.
And I mean, we did connect with some pretty weird and wonderful beings and places and experiences that if we tried to analyse it rationally would just have made no sense at all, and you can't rationally analyse it. You just have to accept it because it is so real, and you don't just know it's real in a mental sense. You actually physically feel it, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, the physical sensations that come through with it. Because I can remember the first time doing some channeling when my entire body froze. It literally felt like it was in rigor mortis. I couldn't move and it was tense and clutched, and I was thought, what the heck's going on here? And it was quite scary. But it's not something that I could consciously or rationally explain. It was just the energies coming through. And when you feel something like that, that's when you know it's real.
Absolutely. I mean, some of the experiences that you have, you can't explain it any other way than to just trust and accept it. A lot of my personal first interactions with receiving this energy when Dawn was holding space for me was really quite physical, because the light beings that came through were saying that they were bringing me energy attunements, and I understand the benefits that was offering me, but on occasions it did feel quite weird and occasionally uncomfortable, I suppose, because they're trying to clear all the different pathways and energetics of the body and teach me how to work with the energetics of the body and the creative forces that we hold within us. It's been a really valuable lesson, and I'm very grateful for all that we've learned.
And of course it's also, your body is taking in a different energy, so it's reacting on that level, you know, without that clearing and that adjustment. It's a completely different energy frequency coming in, and your body is going to react to it. You know, it's just not used to having that experience around it. So on some level it's going to sort of say, hey, hang on, what's going on here? I don't like this is weird, and just react to it. It may only be for a few seconds, but on some level it definitely does.
I think it's the resistance, isn't it, that makes us tense to it. It's like you get an awareness of something shifting, something moving energetically around you or within you, and your natural response is to kind of go, what's that? And that can cause a separation with the energy and sort of push it away, or the opposite. They can then go, oh, this is harder to do, so our guides are trying to amp up the energy. So it's about surrender at the end of the day. It's learning to trust, and learning to trust that really nothing weird is happening, nothing unpleasant is happening, never. I mean, we've never experienced anything that's not been a benefit to us, have we? It's always been really positive, and we've come out of it feeling like we've just, like elation, like the purest heart knowing of love. That is really the vibrations that they bring to us, and you can just bask in that for a long time. Sometimes it's really hard to come back to reality.
Yes, I can remember a few occasions where it's taken a while for you to get back into your body.
And I think it's really important that we do, just to be clear about that. The energies that they're bringing us is flowing through us to be a contribution to the collective consciousness of the humankind, and also to be a contribution to the planet. And any energetic shifts that we make here, we are also making through the cosmic connections. It's filtering through our solar system, to all the beings that are in our solar system, through the whole of our galaxy and beyond. It's all an interconnected structure. We're not isolated. We are connected. When you hear people saying that we are all one and that we are all connected, we are all one and we
Yeah.
are all connected. And that has been really one of the biggest revelations that's come out of these kind of connections, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's because
so.
it changes your worldview.
Yeah,
Like, there's just
completely.
me, you know, that this is me, this body is me, and
It's not.
it's not all. It's not all.
No, you know, it's this body is part of us,
Yeah.
and the rest of us is out there, totally connected to everything else that's out there.
Yeah.
You know, we've just got a very small part of our consciousness actually residing in the body.
Yeah. And for me, that's the biggest blessing, to just know that those connections are possible, and to learn, and that learning that level of trust of what we receive. So, Dawn has also written another little book.
I
and
have.
She's been quiet about that
I've
so
been
far.
quiet about that one. There we go. Ta-da! This little book is called Star Speak, and it's not very long. It's, I don't know, it's about 80 or 90 pages perhaps, and it is a little book of the channel, or some of the channeled messages that I've received when I was working with Sue, and at other points, because I worked at home and I still work with the crystal skulls at home who bring me messages through, and with various guides that I have in the star races. So I decided I was in America for 8 weeks, and I decided I was going to pop it together. So all sorts of things. They talk about ascension, they talk about the planet, they talk about consciousness, they talk about the body. It's all in little sections, really easy read, but it's really, really selling well. It's probably my best selling book actually, so yeah.
Not for long.
But not for long.
I think as people wake up more and more to the positive benefits that come through connecting through the crystal skulls, you know, that's going to shift big time. Because everybody that I know that's read your books, first of all, I just like to say, wow, what just happened? Because you just lost 2 days of your life whilst you can't put the thing down.
I love it when that happens.
But apart from that, so just be warned, you know,
Yeah,
if you're going to...
just before, I had a Facebook message from Sue saying, I finished your book 3:30 yesterday morning.
Yeah. The other thing that lots of people say is that they really feel an energetic presence that comes through the books. As we talk, she talks about the specific skulls in these books. So the books are a story of one of the skulls through 3 different timelines, in contact with people that have been residing on our planet at the time, and there's another story weaving it all together. So it's complex but an easy flow, but the actual power of the skulls, like the consciousness of the skulls, is reflected, isn't it, in what's shared.
Their energy comes through. I'm writing it, and even when I read them, I don't necessarily feel that because it's come through me. So to me, it's natural. But yes, I mean, I've had so many comments about the power of the books, and that people have had huge shifts in consciousness or in issues that are going on in their lives just from reading the books, and that is the energy that the skulls are bringing to the writing. I mean, the way that the books work is that the skulls give me a storyline. So it's not like I sit and I channel the entire thing. They give me the storyline, and then it's up to me, because I've got to do some work here, let's face it, they're not going to just make it too easy for me. I then have to write that into a story that people are going to want to read, and I love doing that. But in all of it, they are bringing their energy through and through and through, and it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it is. And I'm really excited for the next one.
Well, I'm on it. I don't know when it's going to be finished, but I'm on it. And yeah, it's exciting. And I can't say where it's going because I have no idea, because until I get the storyline through, I have no idea what's going to be in it.
Really good.
Which is fun. For
It is
me
fun.
as well.
Yeah, it's always fun. So if you want to share in the fun, I'm going to do a little plug for my things now. So here in the Cosmic Classroom, which is within the Avebury Stone Circle, you'll find the Cosmic Classroom above the hen shop, which a lot of people that visit this area come to, especially because they have such amazing range of gifts and books and things here. Dawn's books are available here, along with a big collection of crystal skulls. There's a website for that, which is called hengeskulls.com. But my work you'll find on cosmicclassroom.co.uk, and at least once a month, through the summer months, it's twice a month, get together for a group called Speaking with the Star Nations, where people are invited to come to the classroom. My job purely is to just create the space and to sort of sit back and guide what comes through, but everybody is invited to make their own connections with a specific star, with the energy from the physical star to begin with, to create a conduit for that energy to flow through, and then we invite a connection with the consciousness of the beings that call that star home. On that journey, some truly phenomenal things, like we just expressed, come through. I mean, you couldn't make it up if you tried, honestly. It's always an exciting and interesting event. So if you'd like to find out more about that, I'll make sure there's a link attached to this video so that you have an opportunity to look. Anyway, darlings, we are going to leave you from the Cosmic Classroom today. As much as I love having Dawn here, we could talk
all night.
day. No problem.
And we often do.
No problem at all. But we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll look forward to the day that we have an opportunity to see you for real here in the Cosmic Classroom in Avebury. So bye for now. Lots of love.
Bye.